Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. What today is going to be is a request. In fact, it's going to be two requests in one. Before I start, I'm going to tell you at least what I've got on my nails now because I'm sure somebody's going to ask. This is actually a Sally Hansen Insta-Dry in Jade Jump. This is the one that is, to me, a dupe of the Mermaid's Tears from OPI. And then over the top of that is some Silver Crackle from Sally Hansen. It's called Fractured Foil. I'm going to be taking that off, though, in a second here because I'm going to be doing this request and I'm going to use my regular nails. But what we're going to do is, like I said, a two-in-one. The first thing that was requested that I'm going to show you are regular black and white polishes versus Konad polishes. That is for Jenny Girl 124. And then I'm also going to compare all the zebra patterns for Giuliano 23. So what I'm going to do is start with, I'm going to do two different nails with the same particular stamp. I'm going to start with the Konad stamp for M57. We'll do that one here. And we're going to stamp that obviously in white. That's going to compare the Konad white polish, special polish for stamping, and then my Whirlwind white. So I'm going to start with the Konad white. And my Konad, in fairness, is really getting thick and disgusting, so I'm hoping it'll even stamp at all. I might have to try thinning it or something. We'll see how that goes. So I'm going to scrape that off. And this is a new scraper, so I don't know. It's kind of like having some issues. But we'll see. It still picks up fine. And then I'm going to stamp that. I'm going to stamp that over my ring finger. See? Beautiful as you would expect because it's the Konad plate and the Konad polish, and, you know, of course that's wonderful. Now, for the sake of not overlapping the polishes so that you get a true idea of how the other one stamps, I'm going to clean off the plate, okay, and start then with the Whirlwind white. I'm going to apply that polish. Scrape. Ugh, that scraper is just awful, but it picks up great. And I'm going to stamp that over my pinky. See that? Now you tell me. You can see Konad is just slightly better, which, you know, I've never certainly claimed otherwise. But look at the Whirlwind white. You see how good that stamps? I mean, that is really a fantastic alternative if you don't have Konad special polish. And I mean, honestly, you can almost barely tell. So that's that particular comparison. Now we're going to compare prints. Now that we've compared the white, we're going to compare prints. So that was the Konad print right here. And the next one we're going to do is the one off the new Bundle Monster set. I'll hold these next to each other so you can kind of see. This is Bundle Monster Plate 223. And you can see these are a little more densely packed lines. But they're about the same thickness. But let's go ahead and stamp that and compare it side by side. And for this I'm just going to use Whirlwind white because it's a little bit better condition polish. It's not so thick. And since we know it stamps well, might as well. Okay. Pick that up. I'm going to stamp that over my middle finger. Ta-da! See? Okay, so there you see that, comparing the two prints. They're pretty similar, so if you don't have the Konad plate and you get the Bundle Monster set, you'll be okay. But it really is a matter of personal preference, whether you like a little more space or whether you like it a little more densely packed. So here's one, here's the other. Okay? Actually, since I'm here, let's just go ahead and do the old Bundle Monster. This is the original Bundle Monster set. Here's their kind of zebra print. That's plate BM16, and it's this one here. I'm going to do the same white on this one, and as you can see, the size of the image is certainly smaller. And that was one of the things that they improved with this newer set, was making the images a little larger. For most of my nails, the image is probably big enough on the old set just because I don't have a really big nail bed. But let's go ahead and stamp that on and see what you get. Ooh, I smudged it. Oh well. But you see it's a more densely packed, and the lines pretty much go almost straight up and down as opposed to across. But it's sort of its own thing. And I think it looks better when it's stamped in black. I just wanted you to be able to see all three side by side. So there they are. So now let's go ahead and compare black polishes. So starting again with just one design so that you can compare the polishes as opposed to the images. I think I'm just going to use the, you know what, I think I'm going to go back to the Konad, because the Konad's got a lot of nice contrast. It's got some more spacing between the lines, so I think that's going to be good for comparing your polish. So the two blacks that I'm going to compare three blacks now that I think about it. So we're going to do Konad Special Polish in black. I'm going to compare my Ebony Hates Chris from Wet n Wild Fast Dry. And then I also recently bought a regular Wet n Wild Wild Shine black polish, and this one's just called Black Cream right there. First, to start out with the Konad Special Polish. Sometimes when you see those streaks along there, don't worry about it because it doesn't always pick up on the stamper. See, it's pretty clean. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that on my ring finger. Sorry, I'm going off screen. There we go. And even one of those little pieces sort of came off, didn't it? We'll just sort of tap it down. It'll rub off. Okay. So there is the black polish for Konad. Next, we're going to do Ebony Hates Chris on the same stamp, or the same image. Let's see. See that? Again, Konad polish is just slightly better, certainly, but Ebony Hates Chris is a really decent alternative. And I have no idea why. I'm looking in this camera, and it almost looks greenish on this one, but it really doesn't look like that in person. That's kind of odd. But there's the comparison. They're pretty close, I would say. And then we're going to go ahead and do the other Wet n Wild polish, the Wild Shine, and see how those compare. In fact, let me shake this. I've not even used this bottle yet. It's a little thinner, so I don't have high hopes for this, but let's just see. I think I've heard some people say that these work, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, so far it's a little smushy on my stamper, but that could have just been me. Oh, well, I'll tell you what, it works pretty good too. It's definitely runnier, and it's a little bit, I don't know, it's thinner, but I would say it's still pretty good. So I would say any of those blacks seems to work pretty well. But again, if you really need a really thick image, Konad is certainly the way to go. Those are definitely the thickest and the best performance in terms of stamping. But I know I've mentioned this before, but from what I hear, Konad silver is terrible. So if you're looking for silver, even though we're not talking about silver today, although I am now, that's kind of weird. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend Konad silver, but at least the black, between the black and white, they work pretty well. So those are the two real basics if you're going to get Konad polishes that I would recommend. First, let me show you these again up close. So you have something to compare. Konad and Konad. Whirlwind White, Whirlwind White. This is the Wild Shine Black. Ebony Hates Chris. And then you've got your 3 patterns to compare. So we got a lot of comparisons going on, but hopefully this all makes sense. Okay, so there is that. And yeah, I think I'm going to end here because this is getting kind of long. So there is the 2-in-1 request. Hopefully this helps you. If you guys have any requests of your own that you haven't submitted yet, you can feel free to do that. I can't guarantee I will get to everybody. I do have a list. It is growing, but any requests that come in, I do add them to the list. So every once in a while I'm going to try to hit a few of these, make sure that everybody gets to see them. So you can certainly keep the requests coming. Just add them as comments to any type of related video that you see of mine, or you can send me a private message on YouTube here. That's fine. You can also send requests on my Facebook page, so guess what, 11 on Facebook. But basically any avenue. So if you have any specific things you'd like to see, certainly let me know. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this one was helpful for you, and the next video I do will be a nail tutorial, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.